I used to have this quiet fear that the older I got, the more I'd have to apologize for my standards. I worried that eventually, the world would stop expanding and I'd be forced to go back, to accept situations and dynamics I thought I had already outgrown. We're often told that maturity is synonymous with compromising, but usually, that's just code for settling. We're led to believe that if we don't grab the first thing in front of us, life will stop offering us new views. But growth isn't a circle, it's a spiral. You aren't looping back to the things you left behind. You're ascending to a vantage point that only the current version of you can even see. There's a collective lie that says our world narrows as we age. We start to fear that what once felt like a choice will eventually feel like an obligation, that we'll have to stay in spaces that no longer feel like home, simply because we're afraid nothing else is coming. But the uncertainty you feel now isn't new. Your younger self navigated the unknown too. The difference is that back then, you were exploring the boundaries of who you could be. Now, you're honoring the truth of who you are. If a situation feels restrictive today, it's not because you're losing options. It's because you've finally developed the discernment to feel the friction. Your age isn't a closing door. It's a sharpening of the lens. It's the quiet authority that tells you that you don't have to return to a version of yourself you've already finished reading. You aren't losing your future. You're just becoming more specific about it. Trusting the process means believing that life isn't trying to trick you into a dead end. You aren't destined to return to a version of yourself you've already buried. Even if your surroundings stay the same for a while, the way you navigate them has changed. You start to notice exits you once walked past. You recognize opportunities that require the exact wisdom and boundaries you've spent years building. You aren't being pushed back into the past. You're being invited to look at the now with more experienced eyes. You aren't settling, you're selecting. I'm starting to realize that our best years aren't a specific time period, they're a state of alignment. If you've ever felt pressured to settle because of a timeline, I'd love to hear how you're holding on to your standards in the comments. Let's encourage each other.